everyone, welcome to this interesting session from the stables of Landview Property Investment Limited. I'm Julia Chidima, and today we'll be having a very honest conversation about why women should own real estate. And I'm very excited to have Mrs. Chinyere Okpechi, the beautiful Executive Director of Landview Property Investment Limited and the lead host of Chiny's Talk Show. She's one of our major investors in Landview, and she has been a game changer when it comes to helping women to discover the importance of owning real estate. So highly welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Today we will be diving into this very interesting topic, and we will be hearing from her. We'll be tapping from her wealth of knowledge and experience. I have a couple of questions for you, ma'am, but before we proceed, I would like you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Thank you so much, Chidima.
You're welcome.
And I want to say, welcome everyone. Yes, I'm Mrs. Chinyere Okpechi, ED Landview Investment Limited. And before I became the ED, I was just Mrs. Okpechi that worked in the bank. So I was a banker for many years before I came into Landview. And coming into Landview doesn't just mean that it's when I started real estate. I was actually in the bank for 2 decades plus.
Wow.
And I want to tell you that even while in the bank, I was also doing real estate. Low key. Look at me now, an Igbo woman. I love money.
It's written all over you, ma'am.
I love money. So where I hear money is, I want to find out how they're making the money. And when I had real estate, I was low key into real estate. I just knew that I was going to ease out from banking, to real estate. So I read banking and finance, and the banking and finance, I always look for where money is.
Yeah.
I live with my uncle who worked in the bank. And as a banker, I will always see him in the morning, meet up with his financial needs. When we all line up in the morning, we need this and that. My uncle will clear. I said, working in the bank means that there is money there. Definitely. So that propelled me to change from accounting to banking. So I dived into the bank and I started as a very young banker, and through the grace of God, I rose to where I retired. Wow. Did I say retire? I resigned. I decided to come out, and that was just last year. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome. Everything I've always done, from how to calculate money, that is accounting, banking and finance. Well, I did a bit of public health and all of that. I just love to balance things. I'm also a mom of 3 men.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
and my husband, my lovely husband. And a whole lot of, I have my mom and everybody. And just know one thing, I love money.
Everybody loves money. I love money too. All right, now to my first question to you.
Okay.
What first got you interested in real estate? Do you have a personal story or moment that made you realize the importance of real estate?
All right. I'm just going to be very honest with you. I have said it before that I love money. And secondly, growing up, we are limited in housing, land, housing, So I actually look forward to if I dare grow up, I will own houses, I will have landed properties. That was as a child.
Wow.
Because I could hear people then tell my dad, this land is not for you because you are not the first son of a particular family, you are even the last child. And in those days, they used to say, is not the first grandchild, kind of his grandchild of a grand. So your own property or whatever that you are entitled to, you have to be far away from where people are, seeing. And those things didn't make sense to me. So even as a girl child, then I just said, growing up, I'm going to have landed properties. I'm going to have buildings. I'm going to make money because then to even buy one small land, they will tell you the amount. And as a child, I was wondering. And then I was like, how did my dad stay without having land and all that? But looking at his story too, he had his story. And he just did what he could do. And I said, growing up, part of the things I would do would be to own landed properties and also houses. Do you understand?
That's awesome.
You know,
That's
so that was actually the force behind my interest in real estate.
So this dream started from childhood?
Yes, from childhood.
Wow.
Because of what I watched my dad go through, because of those words I heard, you know, that was actually the force.
Okay, so please tell us, why do you believe women should own real estate?
There's always this saying, probably from where I come from. Okay. I also grew up to know that women cannot even inherit their properties, right. You know, and it didn't make sense to me. While a woman cannot inherit property, you know, then coming out to this place and even where I schooled in Ilori, Kwara State, women could inherit properties there, but from where we came from, women cannot do that, you know. So that even made me to also say that there won't be a time that I will stay and I'll be discussing inheritance from my people. Despite the fact that my dad didn't have, but I just said the small one, I'm not going to be among those that will drag it. Though I also saw that in courts that was abolished, sort of. Yeah. But you know that what that thing they call Omona in my place, we never allow a woman come close to the father's property. Yeah. You know, so that is one factor. Another factor is that I love women that will have personal growth, and I love women with confidence, and I love women that are empowered. What can empower a woman who does not have money? What again can empower a woman? You know, real estate can give you that confidence that you desire. When you know that in 1 year, my rental income will be coming. You understand what I mean? Yeah, very well. I'll have rental income. Maybe you call off, you look at this estate, look at the other estates. What other confidence are you talking about? Will you, after having those things, and you now begin to go drag inheritance with, you know? So those are the things. To own it, you have to be empowered. Women, you can grow. Do you know that real estate, with the knowledge in real estate, you can have a personal growth? Yeah, that's right. Because when you are talking about landed properties, you're reading, you're, you know, growing, you're having things, you're moving from one place to the other, you're flipping here, you're acquiring there, you understand, you know, so you can even give you personal growth. And when you begin to analyze your investments in real estate, it gives you confidence, it grants you that security as a woman, you know, it will make you to understand life better when you have those things. And it empowers you. It empowers you, you know. So even as a girl child today, I will encourage every girl child, you do not have it today, but just have it that by the time I am working, I'm doing well and all that, I'm diving into real estate. For that tomorrow's empowerment, for that tomorrow's confidence, for that tomorrow's security. Those are just some of the reasons that a girl child, aspiring woman of tomorrow should, you know, embrace real estate and begin to invest, no matter how little.
Yeah, thank you so much. We all know that women make some women though make some financial mistakes. Sometimes we have misplaced priorities as women. You know, sometimes we invest more on things that will not really yield much benefits in the future. Things like, you know, you see a young lady that is just coming up, she's thinking about how to buy the latest hair, the latest car, the latest handbag, the latest designer this, designer that. What are some financial mistakes that women make that real estate can correct?
All right. I will always use myself, you know. I will always use myself because I didn't come out inheriting wealth. I didn't come out picking money from the floor, you know. Being that I also worked in the bank, so I love to look good, you know. And people most times think that to look good is to spend a whole lot of money. You can look when you know how to manage yourself, you know, go around things. You can look good without breaking the bank, you know. So, but most people just want to look. I will now see an Omotala in those days growing up, watching them, and I see these sophisticated women that have made names. I will see their wares, and I want to.
You want to be like them. You want to.
I want to check their label and replicate. Those are the mistakes. I grew up in the bank, and I had a supervisor who actually will take credit card to order for hair. Those days we used to call them Brazilian hairs, you know. She will go take loan to order that. Wow. That was a misplaced priorities today. Right. I can stand to tell you that it was, because those loans backfired. They were coming to her for, you know, to collect their monies. How can you, you know, these things, one time you get them out from their package and wear them in the evening, in the morning it has become second-hand, value has reduced. Do you understand? So those are some of those financial mistakes. But growing up, I grew up with an uncle who was a banker, who told me that I could start investing in stocks then. You understand? This morning, she will always tell me that, Chinyere, that balogu, good things will keep coming. You see that latest dress, good ones will come by next week, next month, next 3 months, new ones, it will keep evolving. Definitely. So there's no need to take all the things you have and plunge into those meaningless things when you can easily go to the market. You know, you can go to, if you cannot go to ShopRite, you can shop left. And you will look good. Do you understand? You must not shop right. You can shop left. And you look good. You understand? You know? So those are always going to shop right could be one of those areas, those mistakes. You know. Do you also know that even right from time, there has always been very good investments in landed properties and houses that are also cheap, but a woman or a girl who wants to look like the Joneses will not see them.
True, correct.
They will not see them. Correct. Even when you tell them, they will give you excuses. Do you understand?
That's right.
They will give you excuses. But those that saw tomorrow and invested in real estate today can balance up and shop right. Exactly. They used to shop left because they invested wisely, especially in real estate. Today they can shop left, shop right. They have left the shopping left. You know, today they're not shop right. You know, also growing up, you know, I don't know if you have been to Oshodi before. Yeah. I don't. Many people today do not know Oshodi. They only know the malls. They only know the malls. I used to, you know, working in the bank, I will come out in the markets like an Oshodi. Most of you do not know Teji Osho. You will not know Teji Osho. We will go to Teji Osho, you know, just because we needed to look good. You know, that was part of the shopping left that we did. We'll go to Oshodi, we'll look at, we were not even hiding. We were not hiding to buy what we wanted to buy. We were just happy that I was happy I was spending my money. Are you getting it? So I'm not going to hide to spend my money no matter where I want to shop. So I will see those guys. They will tell me this one will size you, this one. But the only thing is that I want to make sure that it's sizing me. I want to make sure that it's in a comfortable color, you know, because I used to, I would not wear bright colors because I'll need colors that I can repeat, and I will repeat. You may not find out that I'm repeating that same thing. You know, that was how I was able to, you know, manage my expenditure in order to accommodate my investments.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, now a lot of people see real estate as a male-dominated industry. Well, actually, it is because right from time immemorial, we've always known that when it comes to land discussions and all of that, it's the men that go forth to have such meetings and all of that. Women are not allowed in such meetings. And now, even up till now, a lot of women still think that they need the men, maybe they need their husband's brother or whoever to help them make a major decision when it comes to investment. How do we change this mindset?
All right.
Because a lot has really changed and the world is moving forward and evolving. How do we change? How do we correct this mindset that has been from the beginning?
All right. I would say that yes, that has been from time. You know, when they're talking about landed properties, women are not even they can't call you in to come and sit down and talk about it. You know, and that's how we were all growing up, because they believe that your best place is from the kitchen to the bedroom. That is where women should go and sit down, relax, and talk about how soup is going to be very sweet, the things to cook in the next clinic, not to go and start discussing land and properties. What are you going to be doing with that? You know, remember I told you that investing in real estate gives a woman empowerment. It gives her security and all of that. You know, so today, while I will not say, like, I'm a married, comfortably and happily married woman, while I cannot start and end it as a married woman, I have never started and ended without involving my husband. But the thing is that I have he knows that I have a mindset of investments. I love to invest. He knows I have that mindset, and he knows that real estate has always been my thing. You know, so I will just tell him, and your MD as well. I've never invested without involving him, because God helped us in our family that we have a professional in that area. You know, even my husband, if he wants to invest, he calls him for his advice. I involve my husband and my brother for advice. I remember I have the decision I want to make. I love this. I want to do it. I call them for advice. What do you think? You know, one person cannot see all.
Oh, that's right. Correct.
So when you have one or two of them, they can help you see what you are not seeing. And I also have limitation. I'm not able to, if you take me to a house, you know, until that house is standing and looking good, I don't get interested. I don't get interested.
Because it's not looking like it.
I'm not getting interested. But my husband is very creative. He knows how we can even change pattern from this pattern to the other. He knows how to come in and change it and all of that. And my brother sees potential. If you say this location is not happening, my brother comes in to see that we have this place, this is where it's going to. And that has helped me. So I will say that I have never started and finished completely on my own. But that doesn't mean that the decision comes from them. I made the decision I need to invest in this. And I may not see it all. They come in to help. And it happens. Vice versa. Whenever they also need my help in one thing or the other concerning an investment, I also come in with my little eye to see.
Okay, so now I picked something when you were talking. You said you're a happily married woman.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you a question based on that. Do you think women should invest in real estate? Married women should invest in real estate, even though their husbands already own properties?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Women, invest in real estate. See, as a woman, I want to tell you as a sister, invest in real estate. You're not going to stay there with your husband. What are you going to do there? It's just business. See, when I see a property, no matter where that property is, I see money. I see profits. You know, so that mindset propels me to invest, even as a married woman. There is a place that I invested in, you know, for the past 3-4 years. You know, the building is standing, but nobody's living there yet. Each day I raise up my phone to scroll there. if you see the billions I see there, I just see millions because I'm going to see that by the time if I decide to sell it, I'm making this amount. If I decide to put tenants, I'm making this amount. If I decide now to do it as a short let, I'm even starting from monthly. I have this. At times I start calculating weekly. So I'm not actually, as a married woman, investing that I'm taking my husband to go and start living there. He owns his own, it's our own. So when I also make my income from there, I can take him out.
Of course.
I can go on vacation. Why can't a woman spoil a man? So my investments are actually for, to add to the portfolio, to cruise, to enjoy with my husband, and so on.
Oh, wow.
So I will advise every woman, sisterly, invest in real estate.
Sister, please invest in real estate, whether you're married or not. You've heard from
I'm
her.
telling you,
It's very important.
so
And
beneficial.
just like they would say, it gets why. It gets why you should invest in real estate.
Oh.
Okay, so now that takes us to the next question. What should women look out for when investing in real estate? What are some of the things they should look out for when investing?
All right. If you just hear in real estate, think about wealth. Just know that you are increasing your wealth when you want to think about real estate, But before you dive into real estate, or I want to see, I have seen a potential property, I've seen this and I've seen that, do your due diligence. Do your due diligence.
Very important.
Do not just hear that it is 10 and you can. You don't do that. Do your due diligence. When you do your due diligence, now think again that the financial aspect, this is what I have now, what will I be doing there? How can I, turn it around? Check, is it for long term? Is it for short term? Then you cannot work alone when you are thinking about real estate. You are going to work with a very good realtor. You are going to work with a good consultant. Do not forget that a lawyer, a good barrister, is also needed to carry you along. To drive home your point, if I should put it like that, so that you will not be investing for other people. You are investing to benefit tomorrow. So think about, another thing I want to talk about is that once I hear investment in real estate and somebody's coming to me directly, first thing, there's used to Yoruba thing that say, Ofegbami. This guy won't, if he's in our place, this person, I want to know your mind of why you are coming directly to market it to me. I just want to know your mind. I want to know if it's genuine. That's where I said due diligence. Do your proper due diligence. Find out your financial capacity or capability at that moment. Know what you can do and proceed.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, now to the next question, ma'am. I know one thing that is common with a lot of women is impatience. They don't have that patience to tie their money down and wait for a long time, because sometimes real estate investments requires time for your investment to grow. Are there other real estate investments offers at Landview Property Investment Limited where a woman can invest, and after a period of time, maybe they get their capital investment back plus their profit without having to wait 10 years, 15 years, 20 years for that landed property to appreciate? Please tell us.
All right. Thank you very much for that question. And I want to say that apart from buying land, I will always say in my normal, buy land first. Buy land first.
Yes.
Buy land first. But if like so many people cannot afford to even cannot afford land right away, and they cannot also buy and wait for it to appreciate before they begin to look for buyers to sell. There is this thing too that they say you can, for instance, Landview Property Investment Limited, there is one product they have that is land banking. Land banking. When it started, it was land banking, because I remember when the MD started this land banking thing, he was taken to go and they took him to go and do insurance, to check his health status. Do you have any impending health issue? They did all that to check that the owner of this company, the number one man in this company is fit and can, there's no terminal whatever as at the time land banking started. And land banking is actually where, if you cannot wait, you don't have that patience to wait for 2-3 years, you have patience at least for 6 months.
Of course.
I will always want every woman who has up to 1 million in her account to increase that 1 million with something. In the next 6 months, I shouldn't see any woman, you have 1 million in your account, it's still 1 million. If you go to some of these banks now, it reduces.
Of course.
So I won't want any woman to do that. So Landview has a product that is called land banking. It's a land banking scheme where you bring in your money, partner with them. They will show you a plot of land on that, for instance, 1 million. They give you the square meters and they help you sell it in 6 months or 1 year. And you make returns on that, in that investment of buying a plot of land or some square meters for that period of time. It is a product by Landview. So a woman, you do not need to wait for a long time before you add to your the amount. I want to say it in the simplest form, to the amount you have in your accounts. I also want to say, if you have 500, your sister has 500, you can come up and make it 1 million. I want every woman to add money.
Your money should keep increasing
in your account. Don't leave it there for them to be charging you maintenance fee, 100 naira. If you put 500,000 or 1 million naira, they remove 100. Is it still 1 million?
At all.
They will come and send you Happy Women International. They will remove it from there.
From the 1 million.
Most times they send you 3 SMS. They will deduct it from that 1 million that you have kept here. So, but when you bring it to Landview, partner with them for a plot or some square meters, at the end of 6 months, you get something on it. At the end of one year, you get what percentage are they? I think for Landview right now, in 6 months, you get 20%, and in 12 months, you get 45%. That will help every woman.
Wow, thank you so much. You've been mentioning 1 million. I would like to know, they say all fingers are not equal.
Yes.
Some people might have more than 1 million naira to invest. So I believe 1 million naira is the minimum investment. So what is the maximum investment? Because I know there are a lot of women that have this money but don't know how to invest it or put it to good use.
Okay. In Landview, the least you could do is 1 million.
Okay.
And for some women, they have 100 million, right?
Of course.
They can bring it in. For some, they have 500 million. Landview is capable. For some, they have 1 billion. Landview is capable. And above. Landview is capable. And they will pay you as a when due. They give you agreements, on contract agreements, on that amount you want to invest in their landed property. It's called land banking. You invest in their landed properties, and in a period of time, 1 year, I know that 50 million you can do for 6 months, but above that you do it for 1 year. That will allow your investment to appreciate and give you a good return on your investments.
Thank you so much. There are so many women out there that have this money actually, but they don't know how to go about it. What do you have to say to them? What should they do? How should they go about this investment? What's the first thing they should do?
The first thing they should do, I am the India of Landview. Is there any other real estate company that is better than Landview. I will tell you no. I make bold to say that as of today we are the best in the game. You know, and we have a template that we are working with here in Landview Property and Investment Limited. There was a time we were selling properties without very good title, and God has delivered us from there.
Long time.
Right now, our investments are genuine. We spend money to get good titles. For instance, our landed properties, our estates, we do a certificate of occupancy. I think it's just one now that we have governor's consent and C of O in view. We're just waiting for the time to collect it. I believe they are that's the Ogun State land. They are just processing it. We are giving them time to process it, and at the end of the day, they'll give us our C of O because we've worked for it. You know, so I will advise you, do your due diligence. Find out those. Come to us. We have good titles on all our estates, you know, and we will walk you through. You can start just keying with an initial deposit. When you key in with this initial deposit, we walk you through on how to make it so easy for you to finish up your payments and have your documents. You know, so don't wait until you have gathered it all. I started like that. There were as few real estate companies that, you know, still have me in their books. You know, that is also when your MBA was, you know, and today, very soon, I know I'm going to sell them off and come back to where I belong.
Right.
You know, when you are growing now, you have to,
of course.
You know, but now I will sell them off and move in, you know, and properly. So you're watching me out there. You can start your investment journey. I know there was a time I paid in 200,000. I paid in 300,000. And you know one thing, when you have a landed property you're paying for, it helps you save.
Yeah, actually
it helps
it does.
you save.
That's right.
When you see a particular unit of hair that they tell you that is 1 point something, you look away because you have something that is something in your front you need to collect. You know, you just need to grab it, finish up and grab it, and tomorrow that thing that you have appreciates and is buying you that unit of hair
and even more.
Are you talking? It takes you on vacation and even more. It makes you, you know, that's the person that you were looking at that time. You know, both of you can now sit down and, you know, you now have this your property and that your property is giving you, you know, returns, and you're able to afford that thing you had wished. You understand? For every woman, even for generational wealth. For people that are from my own side, that you know your daughter tomorrow is not going to share whatever. Why not secure her today?
That's right.
Why not boost her ego and confidence, you know, to match for just for tomorrow? You know, you can help your daughters
and your sons too.
And your sons, yes. You know, and by the time that your child had seen how the mother made it, you know, I was so happy when my son came in to invest in our land banking.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Why won't he? You know,
that's good.
I was so happy to see him invest. You know, and I took his commission. You understand? Because I will always tell him that no, we are not doing this. This is not our focus now, because we are, you know, and by the time he matures, we can do that with the interest on our investments. And you know, you never can tell. They'll start asking you what type of investment. If they cannot do it then, but it's in their head that there is a particular investment that mom does. You know, I don't not have daughters, but my children. I even said that I have a particular building somewhere. It's for my grandchildren.
Wow.
It's for my grandchildren. Do you know what we do know how it feels that it was my dad's mom. It was my you know, my grandmom that left this for us. If they will be in Nigeria, if they will not be, but it belongs to my grandchildren. You know.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Edie. Thank you so much. So, to our viewers out there, thank you so much for watching up till this very moment. As you've heard from the horse's mouth, real estate investment is very, very important, both for men and women. And you should not leave your money sitting idle in the bank. Put that money to good use. Put that money to good use and let it yield returns for you every day instead of just lying idle in the bank and depreciating in value. And also remember that a good man or a good woman leaves transgenerational wealth for their children and their children's children. It is even in the Bible. And here at Landview Property Investment Limited, we have various genuine landed properties that you can invest in with flexible payment plans. And we also have a very short-term real estate investment scheme where you can invest and get returns within 6 months or 1 year. So what are you waiting for? All you need to do is contact Landview Property Investment Limited. Check out our website or contact our customer care officers to get you started. Thank you so much once again. I'm Julia Chidima, and with me once again here is Mrs. Chinyere Okpechi, the Executive Director of Landview Property Investment Limited. Bye for now and stay tuned as we come your way again in our next episode.